all good to go now? Everything should be good to go. There we go. All right, everything's working. Yep. I'll start making my predictions when the chat fills up just a little bit. We'll start off with just some of the bag work, answering your questions until chat fills up. And then I'll start making my predictions for UFC 328, Kamzat versus Strickland. If you haven't checked it out yet, after this stream, you should watch my last class where I go over some like ground control techniques that Kamzat uses, some of the Dagestanis use, and then another one that's very similar in terms of trapping their arms to get ground and pound. So I think everything's working now. Let me see how many people we got in here. All right, we got 2 people watching right now. Everything's good to go. Thank you guys for bearing with me. Sorry that we had 1 or 2 technical errors. I tried to schedule the stream through the computer, but apparently if you're using your phone to schedule the stream through, you use your phone to do the stream, and if you schedule it through the computer, it orientation locks it to vertical. So that was a little bit of a technical error I didn't know about. So we'll get that fixed up for next time, and we'll just schedule it through the phone that way. Or we can maybe update it a little bit and put some graphics on the stream and do it on the computer. So we'll see. We're gonna try to keep making these bag work streams better for you guys, but everyone seemed to enjoy it yesterday, so we're gonna keep them rolling. See, once we get like 4 or 5 people in chat, then we'll start making predictions. All right, we got 3 people. We got 3. Share it to your friends. All right, send this out. Also, MC if you can. This is the, oh, he'll do it whenever you see it, but I'm wearing right now one of my sponsor, Rizwear. I'm wearing their Matador rash guard right here. Matador rash guard. Pretty nice. See, it's got Matador on the back. Pretty cool. And then, where is it? There's another little logo somewhere. Yeah, it's right up in the back. Check out rizwear.com for the Matador rash guard. Embrace your inner Ilya Taporia. Speaking of that one, I think he's going to destroy Gaethje on the White House card. Sadly enough, I know I want the American to win, but Ilya is just that much better, and Gaethje had a hard time with Paddy Pimblett. So I think he's going to get absolutely destroyed by Taporia. Let's see what we got in chat. Got 4 people watching now. So we'll start with our predictions. Just a minute. Let me go over the card. We'll start at the early prelims for now. All right. So we got Belsangur Sirkaya versus Jordan Santos. I don't know too much about these guys other than Bogdan Shore. Those guys have hard names to say, but he is one of Kamzat's guys. So I've heard that this is a bit of a layup fight. But Santos has some decent striking, and Bogdan Shore does have a problem blocking shots down the middle sometimes, but he's a lot faster. And if he's one of Kamzat guys, then he's going to have some really, really good grappling. So I'm going to take Bogdan Shore to win by submission. After that, we got, okay. I've actually met this guy, Pat Sabatini. He trains up at, it's no longer NPR. It's UGK with Eddie Alvarez. All right, he actually did Sambo for a while. Here, he did Sambo. He's like one of the few American Sambo guys that's ever made into the UFC versus William Gomez. But Pat Sabatini certainly has better grappling than William Gomez. I don't know if his striking is better than Gomez. I think Gomez has a little bit just cleaner striking, not a crazy amount of power. So I don't think he'll knock out Sabatini. So without being able to knock out Sabatini, I think Sabatini's going to win through a dominant, not very fun, but dominant ground control decision victory in the end. Next up, after that, Roman Kopylov, another Sambo guy. Roman Kopylov versus Marco Tejulo. I don't know too much about Marco Tejulo, but Kopylov being a Sambo guy, I think he will end up winning that. Let me go back to YouTube here. Yep, we still got 4 people watching, 4 people in the chat. Thank you guys for watching right now. Post your questions in the chat, please. Let me know what you guys thought about the press conference yesterday. That was absolutely insane. That's probably the best UFC press conference that I've seen lately. Man, there's no comments on what those guys are saying. I mean, they're both crazy guys. They're both crazy, man. I mean, you got to be a little bit crazy to fight at the level they do. We were just talking about that at MMA the other day. It's like there's a little bit of, if you're willing to make your livelihood out of fighting in a cage, there's a little bit of craziness. So you got to expect out of all sports, you're going to get a little bit of wild opinions out there from especially those 2 guys, right? Not everyone's like that, but like you're going to get wild opinions from those 2 guys. Let's see. We got, might be wrong chat. Here you might be seeing us in Phoenix Smuts coming up to Wushu Nationals. Yes, there is a very good possibility. We're planning on going to the Sandan Nationals and trying to schedule out dropping in at the Black Flag. I believe, I'm guessing the Black Flag. Sambo, filming some Choi Jiao with Ryan Liu, trying to win another national title in a combat sport, Sanda. So, hey, that would be really cool to be a. Actually, I think I won the national title as a youth in judo. So, 3 combat sport national champion. That's a pretty big achievement in its own right. Where's Ryan Liu? Yeah, we need to get Ryan Liu in the chat. And see if you can send this to Alejandro so you can see me wearing this awesome Rizwear brass guard. But let's keep going with the UFC predictions. Hey, so I've gotten done with the early prelims. It's hard to remember all the names, so now we're going to move on to the prelims. Here we go. Oh, man, we got some good fights on this. Jim Miller versus Jared Gordon to start us off on the prelims. Two of the old dogs going at it. I remember Jared Gordon had a really good fight with Paddy Pimblett where he should have won that. But it ended up going to Paddy, probably largely because Paddy's a showman, and they are going to favor the guy who's a bit of a showman rather than the older guy that's probably not going to make it to the title. And you saw that Paddy did end up getting a title shot that some people said was a little bit undeserved. Then we got Jim Miller, I believe the most knockouts and most fights in UFC history. I can't believe he's still fighting at his age. What is he, like 42? In the lightweight division, which is the hardest division in the UFC, in my opinion. So, honestly, I'm going to have to go with Jim Miller. I don't know how good Jared Gordon's chin is, and Jim Miller is just a knockout artist. I don't think he's taken too many steps back. Dude apparently has a great recovery routine because at his age, he's still going real strong. Then we got Grant Dawson versus Matthews Rebecki. Let's see. Oh, Grant Dawson is the favorite actually to win this, whereas I think Matthews Rebecki, he has a lot of power from what I remember. Those Polish guys typically tend to have really good power. I would actually take the underdog on this one. Grant Dawson has some power too, but I think Rebecki is a little bit of a cleaner striker than Grant Dawson. I believe Grant Dawson is a bit more of a grappler, but I can't remember completely right now. But yeah, I'm going to guess Matthews Rebecki. Oh, moving up the card. We'll wait a minute to go over this one. Oh, I'm with Jesse Scribb, not Black Flag. I'm acquainted with Ryan, nice dude. No idea if he'll be at Phoenix Nationals since he's been in Taiwan. Yeah, so actually, Ryan is back in the States, and yeah, he will be at Phoenix Nationals. I talked to him about a bit about that. We're gonna do some Choi Jiao together. We're gonna be doing some Sanda. He'll be showing me some techniques, and yeah, we'll be doing some fun stuff, showing off different combat sports, working together. But yeah, Ryan is a great dude. I actually started talking to him because I saw him do a comment on one of Ramsey Dewey's videos. I don't even remember which one at this point, but Ramsey Dewey did a video and he left a comment talking about how he's Sanda Pan Am champ. And I'm sorry, all these combat sports I've been doing. Sanda, sumo, sambo. I'm a sambo Pan Am champion 3 times over. So I wanted to message him and just talk to the guy because it's like Sanda and sambo have some similarities, at least in terms of combat sports, right? They're both kind of full spectrum sports, with Sanda being just a little bit less so than sambo. So, and then over in Dagestan, a lot of those guys train both Sanda and sambo, and they've done very well in the UFC. So I wanted to talk to him. I trained with him one time out in Lubbock when they had the U.S. National Sanda training camp. That was very cool. But yeah, Ryan is a very cool dude. He's kind of helped me out get that going a little bit, told me about that tournament. So yeah, there's a very good chance I will be seeing you later this month at the Wushu Nationals. Let's see, what do we got in chat? We got 5 people watching right now. Thank you guys for tuning in. Please make sure to leave a like on the live stream and share it to one of your buddies who's a combat sport guy. I think they might enjoy eating lunch, watching it kick the bag, talking a little bit in chat, leaving some questions. We can build a little community here while we're doing the bag work stream. Make sure while you're at it, check out rizwear.com for this awesome Matador rash guard. Nice. I may swing by Nationals to watch and see some guys. I met Ryan when Yang's group joined ours at MMA 101 a few times. Very cool, man. Very cool. Let me see if I can zoom in over here so I can see chat just a little better. Rizwear will get you there. That was one of my favorite ads we've ever done. Let's see, what do we got? I guess I really do have all the Riz. What is a daily training schedule like for you? Okay, so I'll kind of go over the whole week I have of training. So right now, Mondays and Wednesdays, I'm going to CrossFit at 6 a.m. And then 5:30 to 6:30, I have grappling class at Squabble MMA. And then Tuesdays, I have my own lifting class at 6 a.m. at Sambo Nation Fort Worth. I typically join in, but right now I'm going a little bit lighter. And then private lessons throughout the day and coaching in the evening. Sometimes I'll hop in with my guys and get a little extra training as I'm showing them stuff because everything I'm showing them is stuff I would do in my fights. So sometimes getting a few extra reps on those sort of things is nice. That's 6 to 7 at Sambo Nation Fort Worth. Monday, same as Monday, or Wednesday, same as Monday. Tuesday and Thursday, or Thursday, sorry. Thursday and Friday are the same as Tuesday. And then Saturday, I go to 11 o'clock sparring at Squabble MMA. Let's see, what do we got in? How many people we got in here? We got 8 people in there right now. How's CrossFit? Do you see the benefits for MMA? Yeah, absolutely. I do definitely see the benefits of CrossFit for MMA. The big thing is we do a lot of Olympic lifts in CrossFit and pull-ups and body weight exercises. So it's also very cardio heavy. So all those things combined are very similar to MMA in the fact that you're doing functional stuff in MMA, kind of functional lifts in CrossFit. As much as I hate the idea of functional, like I think it's kind of misused a lot of times, but you're doing a lot of like the power cleans, power snatches and stuff in CrossFit, a lot of pull-ups, which are great for MMA. You got to have a strong back. So I think as I do it more, my cardio is going to go crazy. So yeah, there's definitely some benefits of CrossFit for MMA. All right, now we're going to go back to UFC predictions. Next up on the line, we got Joel Alvarez and Yaroslav Amasov. Ooh, this is an interesting one. Yaroslav is at 175. He is the favorite with Joel Alvarez as the underdog. So Joel, I think, is definitely the cleaner striker. When I've watched him, he is very clean in terms of the striking. But Yaroslav is definitely the better grappler. He's another Sambo guy on this card. I actually made a video about Yaroslav about 4 or 5 months ago whenever he beat Neil Magny with a Darce choke, actually. It was funny. I broke down how he did his Darce choke, and then he won with it the next day. That video did pretty well, and I just reposted that on my story. So if you're going through my Instagram story at t.weber64kg, definitely check out that video to see Yaroslav and how he does his Darce choke. So being a Sambo guy, I'm going to have to go with Yaroslav. You're not going to make a ton of money betting on him right now because he is the favorite, but I think he will end up winning via submission. Even though Joel has good striking, I think Yaroslav is going to be able to take him down and use his Sambo grappling to control him through the fight. I'm actually going to give it, Joel Alvarez is pretty good, and I'm sure his grappling is pretty decent too, but not as good as Yaroslav. So I'm going to give it a decision win by Yaroslav Amasov. After that, we got Ateba Gutierrez versus Ozzy Diaz. I actually don't know much about Ozzy Diaz, but he is a crazy, crazy underdog at plus 700 with 1100 minus for Ateba Gutierrez, another Cameroonian Sambo guy. So, I mean, just based on that, I saw Ateba's last fight. Dude's got some power, some bombs in his hands, and obviously he's going to have good grappling with the Sambo. So I'm going to give it to Ateba Gutierrez. Now we're going to go back to looking at the comments. Yo, remember me from the last stream? How you doing? Yeah, man. Are you the guy from Georgia, I'm guessing? He was, I do remember you. So thank you for hopping in and watching the live stream again. I'm glad people are returning and it was a good enough time for everyone that you wanted to come back and watch this live stream. So I'm gonna start getting into just doing a little bit of drills. I've been doing a lot of 1-1-2s, but just kind of like my favorite, like just probing combo. Bam, bam, bam. Right. Just kind of doing like kind of thoughtless bag work right now while talking to you guys. But now we're gonna start working on just only lead hand for a while. Okay. So mixing it up head, body, hook, and mixing it up with those strikes, trying to add head movement after I throw it sometimes. So jab, move head, jab again. Yeah, yeah. You see, just practicing, shooting that lead hand out there, bringing it right back quick as possible. Yep. Nice little lead hook right there. Yeah. We know now we got a lot of people in there. Let me know what y'all thought about that press conference last night. Brought it up a little earlier, but I think that was one of the most entertaining press conferences I've seen in like my time watching the UFC. I'm a little bit younger. I'm only 25 now, but I didn't miss a lot of the height of good press conferences. Like I've gone back and watched stuff from Chael Sonnen, and I barely got into it as I was getting into it as Connor got big. I mean, my parents watched it all the time, but I didn't really pay as much attention as I do nowadays. So this is one of the first ones that I remember in my adult life that's been a really, really good press conference. Yeah, dude, that was so good. Kamzat kept interrupting. Yeah, yeah, you being from that kind of like region of the world in Georgia, what do you think about Kamzat and like how he acts? I know Georgia is Christian, but like y'all are there's still like the Caucasus Mountain regions. What's your thoughts on those guys in the comments of the Dagestanis and Chechens? Where does Sambo get their striking? Actually, this is pretty interesting. I heard originally that Sambo got his striking from karate. So, yeah. And if you watch some of the old Sambo videos, they actually do a lot of this, boom, this kind of blocking that you see in karate. Nowadays, I'd say Sambo has a little bit more MMA striking influence and then Russian style boxing influence. You'll see a lot of the Sambo guys have this lead hand out here to parry, throw back, and they're kind of hopping in and out just a little bit more light on the toes, lead hand in front, here, bam, 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 bam. You see that kind of like Russian striking influence. Ah, yes. Yeah, we won't get too much into the conflicts over there, but there's no need to bring that in over here. But yeah, as fighters is kind of what I mean. They are great fighters, and I guess the Georgians and the Dagestanians have very similar styles. Another group of people that is really good fighting over there, but isn't well represented in the UFC yet, is the Armenians. Armenians are great fighters, and they've done very well in combat sambo. All right, we'll move on to the main card in just a second. We got 13 people in the chat. Let's go. Thank you guys for joining, and we're going to, how do their mobility and footwork go? Is it too wide or not too wide? So typically for combat sambo, the footwork is kind of like in the middle, right? You're not going to be wide like a karate stance right here, but you're going to be a little bit closer in, right? You're not going to be Muay Thai style. You're somewhere in the middle, so you're able to, right, throw, boom, and sprawl on a second's notice when someone shoots on you. So it's going to be it's still a little bit more bouncy, kind of similar to karate sometimes. So it's not as like plodding as Muay Thai right here. So it's going to be a little bit more bouncy, but still kind of closer in than you would have for like a traditional martial art like karate. If you didn't have a sambo program, would you go to judo gym? So not so powerful. Yeah, you're gonna keep your weight a little bit more centered. We're gonna go up the card just a little bit to King Green versus Jeremy Stevens. So I think King Green has got this one. He's been a lot more active. Jeremy Stevens has done some bare knuckle boxing lately, which I think is going to prove him well in MMA. for the toughness aspect of things, right? You can't be a bare knuckle boxer without being real tough. So I think in terms of toughness, he'll be able to win. But I think King Green's got the better striking for MMA, and he's been active, doing a little bit more groundwork, I'm guessing, than the bare knuckle boxer Stevens, and throwing some more kicks. So I think King Green is going to have the overall better MMA game than Jeremy Stevens. So I would take King Green by decision because I don't think he's going to be able to finish the really tough bare knuckle boxer in Jeremy Stevens. Next up, we got Sean Brady versus Joaquin Buckley. Man, I know this is my personal bias, but I think like Buckley's got some power in his hands. It's either going to be a round 2 knockout by Buckley or Sean Brady just grappling his way to a kind of like smothering decision. I don't think he's going to get the submission, but I think he'll grapple his way to a smothering decision. And I would take that more times than I count on Joaquin Buckley getting the knockout. So I'll take Sean Brady by decision. And we will go back to the chat. I also think Ossetians are not represented as well. They have really good grappling, as I know. And that's actually, I don't know what that, what is that group of people? Ossetians? I don't know who those are. And yeah, if I didn't have a Sambo gym already, I would also consider opening up a judo program somewhere else. I love judo, right? That was my very first combat sport. So judo is great. Love it to death. But judo is like, in terms of combat sports, my first love. But Sambo is really where it's at in terms of like, I like to fight Sambo. That's kind of how I look at it. So yeah, eventually I'd love to have a gym that I have judo, Sambo, and like kickboxing and MMA, like have a little bit of everything, kind of like Empire MMA out in California with David Arkelian. So if you're out in California, check out David. He's one of my good friends from the Sambo World Team. What else we got? Judo or MMA if no Sambo is a good question. So judo or MMA. If I didn't have Sambo, right now I would pick MMA. My first dream was to become a judo Olympian, and that didn't quite work out. So I'd have to pick MMA right now, right? Because that's what I'm actively competing in. And MMA has, I think, treated me better than judo did. Even though I still love judo, I think MMA has treated me better as a sport. I've gotten a lot more notoriety because of it. And I believe it can actually be a real career for me. Whereas judo, even if I made it to the Olympics, never would have been a real career, right? There's no way I would have been able to make a living off of judo by itself. So that would be my answer to that. Is I would pick MMA right now. In terms of what you should do if there's no Sambo in your area, if you want to do sports Sambo, go with judo. If you do want to do combat Sambo, go with MMA, and still try to do a like judo class at least once a week if possible. I need some water, guys. How long we been going? Oh, we're already at 30 minutes. We're already at 30 minutes. Let's get back to some predictions over here. Next up, Alexander Volkov versus Waldo Costa Cortez. Waldo Cortez Acosta had it backwards. So this one, Waldo Cortez Acosta has gotten better during his UFC career. I know he was a pro baseball player before, and I think it's funny when all the commentators attribute that to his power, which it might be. I mean, that rotational power that you get from swinging a bat, but it's definitely gotten better as he's built technique into that power. So he's gotten a lot better, but I think Volkov actually should be the one fighting Herrera at the White House because I think he beat Surreal Gone. And Surreal Gone and Pereira are obviously the other two best heavyweights at the moment outside of Aspinall. I don't know how he's doing, but I think Volkov, provided Aspinall's not available, should have been the one fighting because I think he beat Gone. So I'm gonna have to give this to Volkov. I think he's just the better MMA fighter right now. He's better skill wise than Acosta. So that's who I'm gonna give that fight to. Joshua Van versus Tatsuro Taira. So one day I'm gonna train with Joshua Van, that's for sure, because he's down in Houston over at 4 Ounce Fight Club. First Texan to win a UFC championship in the modern era, I believe. So that's very cool. He's down at 125. He's got great boxing. I don't know much about his grappling to be absolutely honest, but his boxing is great. Definitely bit better in the boxing than Tatsuro Taira, but Tatsuro Taira has a better overall kickboxing game, I think. I think he's the better kicker. And I think he's probably the better grappler. So I'm going to have to give this to Taira. He did a really cool thing where he snapped someone's knee. They tried to stand up while he was on his, while Tatsuro was on his back. And he kind of leaned towards one side and like broke the guy's knee or something. That was crazy. So yeah, I'm going to have to give it to Tatsuro Taira on this one, taking the championship and then fighting Pantoja whenever he comes back. And we will wait just a little bit, bury the lead a little bit, and wait for the main event. We got another good question in chat. I just don't have a Sambo gym nearby, but there's a judo gym and an MMA gym in Austin. You're the man, dude. Love these chats. Totally random question for the other silent pressures. What are the things you may have noticed for larger fighters, 6'2", 6'3", and up? Yeah, that is an interesting question. I don't have too much experience with that in terms of competition because of my size. I'm not going to fight a lot of 6'2", 6'3" guys. But when I do fight tall guys, getting past that range is so hard. It is so hard. And then also, I really appreciate the comment above saying that they really like this chat. But yeah, definitely, if you want to do combat sambo, go for MMA. And then if you want to do sports sambo, go for judo. The best thing possible is to mix them up and do a little bit of both. But yeah, someone taller person in the comments, please answer this guy's question because that's a tough one for me. Answer those bigger guys. What I'm saying, tips for those size fighters. Ah, yes, tips for those size fighters. I kind of have to know what size you are. Are you that tall, or is that are you a shorter guy like me trying to fight taller guys? There's a lot of elderly guys that still do BJJ. Can older people still be able to practice sambo, and is it common? So I would say that it's not super common, but older people definitely can still practice sambo. That's why there's a Masters World Championships. Man, some of those guys at the Masters World Championships are killers. So yeah, they can still practice sambo. Obviously, you got to put some limitations on yourself. You got to try to train smart, not always hard. But as long as you keep your body going, then you'll be fine. You'll be absolutely fine as long as you keep your bodies going. 290 pounds and mobile for my size. What's up, Mr. Sproling? 290 pounds and mobile. You sound like a lot like my guy King, who was in chat just the other day. King, you can, I'd say if you're 290 pounds, 6'2", and mobile, so you got a little bit longer range, I'm guessing. So keep it a little bit longer. Use your jab a lot, and then set up, boom, hard right hands and overhands and start to get those knockouts. If you don't get the knockout with the overhand, use it to shoot into a double. But if you're that big and mobile, get some hard strikes in there. Get some, stay long with your jab, keep it distance, oh, and come over with that overhand when you can. Whew. Let me get some more water, you guys. W in the chat for King. No problem with mid or high kicks. Oh, yes, I did see this. See that you sent me the video, Mr. Spiraling. Thank you for that. Where's King? I don't know. He was in chat the other day. Make sure you give us a like and subscribe as well, please. How many people? We got 10 people in here still. Stream's going good. All right, we got 10 people. Let's go to Kamzat and Strickland predictions. All right, so the main event of the evening and probably one of the most exciting fights of the year, honestly, because they've done so well at building it up. Strickland, real high, almost Muay Thai style stance sometimes, doing the teep, just jabbing, teep, jab, teep. Doing my best Strickland imitation right there. All right, listen here, guys. Listen to this, guys. I'm gonna teep, and I'm gonna jab. I'm gonna teep and jab all night long. And he's not gonna take me down because I wrestle all the time. But then we got Kamzat, the just dominant grappler. Everyone knows Kamzat. Great takedowns. He hasn't I think he's been able to take down pretty much everyone he's fought. The only person that gave him problems on the ground was Gilbert Burns. So really, I still believe it's going to be Kamzat. I don't think I like Kamzat a whole lot, especially after he threw that knee stomp at the press conference, which I think is crazy. If he had hurt Strickland, the UFC would have been pissed. I think he would have gotten sued. I think that's grounds to sue, which is crazy. But yeah, I think Kamzat's still gonna get it. I think he'll be able to take Strickland down. And I know Strickland's been working his grappling. I don't know if it'll necessarily be easy, but I still think Kamzat is so dominant, he's gonna be able to control him consistently through the round and probably get a round 2 submission. If it gets past round 4, I think Strickland will end up taking the decision. I still don't know if Kamzat has the best cardio. That's always been one of his big problems. So if it makes it past round 3, then I think Strickland gets it by decision. But you got to go. You got to go with Hamza. Be absolutely honest. But I wouldn't be surprised at all, especially if it makes it past these later rounds, if Strickland pulls out another surprise win like he did against Israel Adesanya. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, the press conference was insane levels of trash talk. The fight is about Sean get up and encourage the striking. Hey, what's up? My dad's in the chat, Robert Weber. What's up, Dad? It's nice to see you in chat. Ask my dad some questions, guys. See, you can ask him about how I was whenever he was training me when I was a kid. Because my dad's been in my corner a lot as I've been fighting. My dad's was in my corner my first 2 MMA fights that I've had, my first combat Sambo fight, a lot of my Judo matches, and when I beat Marab. So definitely ask my dad some cool questions in chat. He'll answer them. We'll keep the chat going with some questions for my dad. Is Kamzat a Sambo guy? Yes, I believe Mr. Spiraling answered that question correctly. He did a little bit of Sambo as a kid, but he's mainly a freestyle wrestling. So yeah, there's some definite Sambo influence there, but he is mainly a freestyle wrestler. Dad, you got any questions in chat? Bang. Bang, bang, bang. Have I heard back from RAF? No, I have not heard back from RAF yet. The guy that does the matchmaking did like one of my posts after I sent him a message. But wouldn't it be awesome if I could be the backup for Marab versus Edgar? I mean, who better? Who better than a guy who already beat Marab in a grappling match? There's no better a person to fill that backup spot than me. And I'm right here 10 minutes away from where they're gonna fight. So I've already done it. I can make that weight cut anytime to lightweight 145, I believe. Maybe they fight at 155. I don't have to cut any weight. That would be nice. I fight Marab fresh. That'll be nice. Fresh, no injuries. Oh, I think I'd pick him up and slam him again, even in a wrestling rule set without the Kirka. Right. How do you think you would do against Marab in a submission grappling match? Oh, I still think I'd beat him in a submission grappling match. I think he didn't really want to stay on the ground with me at all. After I went for that calf slicer, I think he realized I have a much better arsenal on the ground than him. So I think I would beat him in a submission grappling match. I mean, on that last post where I got 1.4 million views, and he commented, I challenged him to UFC BJJ. So he said something about next time, slapping me next time. I'd submit him next time. Hey, hey. That's my general opinion on how that would go. I think I'd still get the takedown and I'd submit him. As long as I can stay on top, which I think I can. I've been working real heavily on my grip strength. It's kind of funny that I'll do this while I'm hitting the bag. Have I done any more CrossFit? Yeah, I was actually talking about the CrossFit earlier. I've done a little bit more. The cardio workout we did on Wednesday was crazy, crazy hard. But to get my grip strength better, sometimes when I hit the bag, I've actually been holding onto it like this and climbing on it like a monkey. Just holding here after I do my bag a little bit. I thought you guys would enjoy this, seeing this. But yeah, I'll hit the bag where my arms out, and then I'll hold onto the bag like this. I'll even squeeze with my legs. Taylor beat Marab. Yeah, I did. I did beat Marab. Not many people can say that one except for Piotr Jan. How many people we got in chat now? 13 people still watching. Man, we're growing. Bag stream is growing. We're doing good. But yeah, so let me go back to the predictions and I will give my predictions one more time. We'll go all the way down. We'll make it quick. So for the beginning of the night, I have Clayton Carpenter winning by submission, I believe. I don't know if I even talked about that one. I think I missed it. But yeah, I got Clayton Carpenter. Then I got Bison Gore winning by submission as well. Boom. Above that, we got Pat Sabatini winning by decision, dominant groundwork. Maybe not the most fun fight to watch, but dominant groundwork victory. Up on the card, next we got Roman Kopylov. I think Roman Kopylov's got better striking. He's another Sambo guy, and I think he will end up winning this fight. I think he's actually the underdog. Yeah, he is. I think he'll win, though. Next up, we got Jim Miller. I think he's going to win by knockout. Still the older guy, but most knockouts in UFC history. So I think he's got it. After that, I got Rebecki. I think he'll win also. You know what? I think that's going to be a fun fight. I may change what I said earlier, but I think Rebecki's going to win. It's going to be a bloody fight by decision. Heavy shots landed by both guys throughout the fight. After that, we got Yaroslav, who I made a video on. Check that one out with his Stars choke. And then I think he will win that fight. We got Ateba Gutierrez above that, who I think is going to win probably by knockout. judging by the odds on this one, because I don't know much about Ozzy Diaz, into King Green, who I think is going to win because he probably still has the better MMA skill set. Sean Brady winning by another kind of like grinding, grappling decision. Up the card for the last one, Volkov, I think by decision. I don't think he's got the same knockout power as a lot of the heavyweights, but I think he's a better fighter than Waldo, Baseball Boy, Cortez, Acosta. And we got Joshua Banders, Tetsuro Tyra. I think Tyra is going to win, probably mostly striking decision, mostly leaning a little bit on his kicks. Then after that, we got Cobbs out winning by submission in round 2, I believe. Oh, man, we got a lot of chats in here. Ooh, how come you're not in this Judo Sambo Discord with Julian and Dave and some of the others? Oh, I actually don't know that one. I'll have to check it out. I'm not usually on Discord. Send me the link to the server. Sean Brearley might have trouble against Buckley. I have Buckley winning. Yeah, Buckley might get a knockout, but I still give it to Brady. I do have a bias towards the grapplers, to be absolutely honest. I have a heavy bias towards the grapplers, which, as a grappler, is to be expected. Still 11 people in chat, 46 minutes. Whew. Give me some more questions so I can just tap away at the bag. When I'm not talking, then I tend to go a little bit harder. So give me some more questions so I'm not killing myself with the cardio. It's been a hard week of training, and I got my sparring tomorrow. So we're just chilling today mostly. Mostly just chilling, tapping away, feeling good. Just keeping the muscles moving on a day where I'm not training too hard. Working my way up and down the bag with these jabs. Just getting my shoulders conditioned. Rizwear will get you there. Yeah, just remember, check out rizwear.com. We got this cool Matador rash guard. Carlos and Pedro. Hopefully you guys are in chat. See me shout out your gear. We'll put some more stuff. We're thinking about getting a Kirka style rash guard on there at rizwear.com. That one will be really cool for all my Sambo guys in chat. Wear a Kirka under your Kirka. More Sambo, more better. Boom. Sean Strickland by unanimous decision. Any plans for when my next fight is going to be? 2 questions about that. So I'll be fighting probably Sanda Nationals May 23rd. And then I have a MMA fight scheduled for June 15th. So 2 matchups coming up soon. I guess the Sanda one is not a matchup, but got another MMA fight coming up June 15th. Gonna start weight cutting for that soon. Gonna make it 3-0. Boom. Bum, 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 boom. Sometimes you gotta make the sound effects for fun. Who's the op for MMA? I can't remember his name, to be honest. Yeah, it'll be Texas Live again. It'll be Texas Live again here in Arlington. Gotta love it. That's a great venue, to be honest. XKO has been great to me so far. Yeah, dude. Why do you think Sean Strickland by decision? I guess if he's gonna win, it's gonna be by decision. I know I said that earlier. If he makes it past round 3, Sean Strickland will win by decision. What time we at? 50? Oh, somewhere like 10 more minutes left. Get your questions in. Make sure you like, subscribe, and check out rizwear.com for that cool spinning back kick right there. Oh, headphone fell out. That was so hard. My headphone fell out. if Sean can weather the storm. Yeah. I mean, I know he's been working his grappling, and you're going to have to be working takedown defense if you're going against Kamzat. There's no doubt there, right? Anyone who fights Kamzat is going to be drilling takedown defense like no other. But has anyone been able to stop it yet? I don't think Sean Strickland's going to be the first guy to stop it. I don't think there's any way to be the first guy to stop Kamzat's takedowns. I just don't see it happening. I need some more water, guys. 9 people still in here. 9 people. For those of you who've been here since the beginning, thank you guys for sticking around. Yeah, exactly. I agree. You think it's not? Well, no, I don't agree, actually. It's not about stopping. I think it is a little bit about stopping it. I think if Hamza gets him to the ground, I don't know if Sean Strickland's going to be able to survive. So, whew. Is that King? Is King in chat? No. Oh, it's Kyle. Kyle. Yeah, I didn't even. Sorry, it's hard reading these names. It's a little far away on the screen. But yeah, Kyle. We'll see you at Squabble next week. Are you going to be at sparring, Kyle? Have you gone to Saturday sparring yet, bro? King said he's going to start coming to Squabble sometimes too. Sambo Squabble. Sambo shit, Squabble shit. Boom, mixing it up. Gotta love it. Ah, nice. Yeah, YouTube doesn't like you shouting out other platforms. So, yeah, YouTube probably did block that. Yeah, but you can send it to me via Instagram and I'll join that Discord. All right, guys. Last few questions, and we're getting out of here. Him take over. That's funny. 12 people still in chat. Give me some more questions. I took the glove off. I'll probably just tap away like this. Palm strikes. We got some pancrase in here. Boss Rutan style. Ah, man. My dad loves Boss Rutan. Yeah. Send it to me on t.weber64kd on Instagram. Send me that link. All right. I want ones in the chat if you have Kamzat. If you have Strickland, put 2 in the chat. I want to get a little poll in for the last little bit to see who we got for Kamzat versus Strickland. So 1's in the chat for Kamzat, 2's in the chat for Strickland. 1. All right. Hey. Palm strike. Actually, this is kind of hard. We got 2-1 so far. I think is that a non? Is that a non? Looks like I got to go to a wedding right after. No, it's a matador. They wear suits. Ah, it kind of does look like it though. I mean, it's definitely got a more formal vibe to it to some extent. All right, we only got 2 people answering the question. 2's in the chat for Strickland, 1's in the chat for Kamzat. And then after that, we're going with Tsuru Taira versus Joshua Van. Right now, it's 100% Kamzat. Oh, we got another 1 in the chat, Kamzat. So, yeah, 100% of my chat thinks it's going to be Kamzat, which makes sense. We're gonna have a little bit grappler heavy guys in here. So, but yeah, I got Kamzat too. Taylor, could you also send this to me if you get it? Yeah, man, I can send it over to you. Sometimes I like hitting the bag without my gloves on, just so I know I'm hitting properly with my top two knuckles. Not hitting hard because you don't want to break your hand, but I would say it's good to just feel every so often what it's like hitting without the gloves on so you can really feel your knuckles digging in. It also conditions your hand just a little bit. I heard Joe Piper competes without hand wraps on, similar to how you would compete in combat Sambo without any wraps on. Let's see an old and Ole. I have no clue what that is. Ah, bing bang boom. All right, we'll give a little bit of the what's his name? Why am I forgetting now? Boss Rudin. Get that bing bang boom. Boom, boom, bang. Sound like Boss Rudin up in here. Can you throw your best 1, 2, 3 a couple times? So yeah. There we go. Do I do wrist training? Yes, I do wrist training. I do wrist training. But all right, we are going to close things out here. I think we probably. Oh no, we got 3 more minutes. We got 3 more minutes till we hit an hour. I'm dedicated. I'm dedicated. 3 minutes is an amateur round right here to hit an hour. Last time I didn't quite make it to an hour. This time we're 100% making it. Burning out the cardio just a little bit at the end. Training your wrist is good for power. Yeah. We actually, another thing, use code Weber for 10% off the Grappito, which is my favorite tool for training my wrist and my grip strength. The Grappito is awesome. Um, Grappito.com, check it out. You can do holds with it. You can do rollers with it. All sorts of different things. You put it in a sand bucket, do sand bucket training with the Grappito. Code Weber for 10% off on Grappito. Check them out. We're almost there, almost at 1 hour. Woo. Gonna hit the sauna after this for a little bit. We there yet? We there yet? Oh, we got 1 minute and 30 seconds. All right. We're doing 1-2s the rest of the time. 1 minute 30 seconds. Put your last questions in chat for me to answer. 14 people in here. Someone's got something good for me. Give me your last opinions on Kamzat versus Strickland. Someone said Sambo's the cheat code yesterday. We're gonna do the Konami code again. One, up, down, left, right. A, B, A, B, select, start, boom. And Sambo cheat code. We'll do it again. Where Kyle at? Watching the stream. Yes. You should come to hard sparring on Sunday over at Fort Worth too. Can't forget all about your Sambo roots. Y'all, who is King? King is one of my students, DeMarcus King, who competed at nationals. He's really, really good. He got a YouTube? No, I don't think he's got a YouTube channel. All right, 15 seconds, 15 seconds, 15 seconds. Hey, we're almost there. When do you participate in your first UFC fight? Good question. We'll see. hopefully in the next like 1, 2, 1 or 2 years, I'll be in there. But I want to go to Ryzen first. You mentioned Judo versus Sambo. The more Sambo I do, the more I feel like I'm still learning Judo. Do you get that feeling by chance? Yeah, yeah. I like the Kings become a meme in the chat. But yeah, you're definitely learning Judo when you do Sambo. We'll turn this thing around real quick. Yeah, because I mean, I'm a Judo black belt and I coach Sambo too. All the guys in my gym do Sambo. But thank you guys for watching this back stream. We're at right at an hour and we're going to close it out. And hope you guys have a good day. Ready? 1, 2.